On the move, changing perceptions, pushing limits. Today's Africa is not framed by the past. A new generation is stepping up, embracing tradition while blazing a new path, giving voice to unique style, connected in ways others before were not. This is where the urban pulse meets creativity and a new culture thrives. This is African Voices.
This week, Changemakers, the movers shaking up the status quo and helping build a better Africa. We start on the island of Mauritius, where one man's belief in big ideas means rethinking higher education.
The greatest equalizer in life is education. And if you can give people a chance to get this education, then we can actually get people out of poverty and into the middle class and then eventually creating wealth for others. Hi, my name is Fred Swanica. Greetings from Mauritius. I'm the founder of ALU, and this is my Africa.
Amidst the lush mountains and crystal blue waters of Mauritius, Fred Swanica is building an education empire he hopes will enrich all of Africa.
I realized that leadership was the single biggest thing that was holding us back from achieving our potential as a continent. And the idea that came to me was, why don't I create a special school for leaders? And that's really what I believe, is that if you give a young person a chance to practice entrepreneurship at 17, 18, in a small way, that will give them the confidence and the practice to do something much bigger. Like Mark Zuckerberg starting a little computer project in his dorm room when he was 19 that became Facebook.
Fred is not your ordinary entrepreneur. As the founder of the African Leadership Academy, he feels the only way to change Africa is invest in other entrepreneurs.
My real spark in entrepreneurship came when I was 18, when my dad had just passed away, and my mother had been a very good teacher in the town that we lived in Botswana. And so many of the parents in that town approached her and said, we'd love for you to start a school for us. It was a lot of responsibility, right? Parents were giving you their their most valuable asset, really, their children. It was definitely nerve-wracking.
His mother made him headmaster at the age of 18. They started in a small church room with only 5 students. The little school quickly grew.
The best advice my mother ever gave me, which I have really applied as I've built different educational ventures, is that when you're building a great school, it's not about the buildings, not the facilities. Right? But what makes a great school are 3 things. It's great teachers, great students, and great curriculum.
Fast forward to today. The Stanford Business School graduate is embarking on an even bolder education experiment, the African Leadership University.
We're building a new MBA and we're doing it in Africa.
Well, the ALU faculty, they're almost like experienced creators, right? They're artists whose job it is to orchestrate a phenomenal learning experience versus lecturers.
His big idea? Provide students a unique opportunity to split their education between the classroom and the real world.
African Leadership University, ALU, is a startup. It's a startup with a very special purpose, though. Our aim is to transform Africa by developing what we believe is our most precious resource, which is not gold, it's not oil, it's the brains of our young people. In a traditional university, where the administration and faculty sit, they're up there in the ivory tower and separate from the students. Here, this is where our staff sit, and around us are classes where our students are learning. And so it reminds us every day of what we're doing and keeps us connected to the students that we're serving and hoping to develop.
Fred sees the African Leadership University growing to 15,000 employees with a collective budget of $1 billion over the next 30 to 50 years.
The transformation of Africa is not a short-term game. And so what we're trying to do with African Leadership University and with African Leadership Academy and the network is saying, let's take a step back and really identify the foundation that we'll need for long-term lasting peace and prosperity on the continent. And that for us is leadership. So what's happening right here is that a key part of our learning model is the students have to work in peers and teach each other. So they spend the majority of their time in groups like this,
The university has already become a destination for students from across Africa.
I've always wanted to pursue a career in consulting, and right now I feel like I'm working in a mini consulting firm already.
Fred's efforts have already been recognised by some powerful people.
We want to empower entrepreneurs like Fred Swaniker. Where's Fred? He's from Ghana. So, Fred's got a fan club over here. Fred helped to start a biotech company and now uses his expertise to help other young Africans develop their leadership skills. So thank you, Fred, for the great work that you're doing.
Despite the accolades, Fred has not lost sight of the challenges facing his university of the future.
When we opened admissions for the first class, we were looking to bring in only 180 students. In 60 days, we got 6,000 applications from 54 countries in Africa for these 180 slots. When all our founding students arrived here, when all our inaugural students arrived here, we gave them a t-shirt with the word founder on it. And the reason being is we knew that this is a new institution and there were obviously going to be kinks that needed to be worked out. So we didn't want our students to come here and just sit and complain about all the problems. We wanted them to co-create the institution with us. To build a campus like what we're doing here in Mauritius cost $100 million just to build a campus for 10,000 students. And then we're trying to build 25 of those campuses.
Fred sees virtual reality as a way to enhance the learning experience.
So what we decided is that let's actually go around the world and find the world's best teachers and bring them together in one place using technology. And so you can imagine putting on this virtual reality headset and you're transported to this amazing professor at Oxford University. And then you're transported to a professor at Glasgow Caledonian University in Scotland, which is one of our partners. And you're watching a lecture from there. And then you're transported to Harvard. And we're bringing all that together in one place using technology.
The young Ghanaian entrepreneur who started with a small school in Botswana is driven by one goal: create the Harvard of Africa.
I feel that I've been climbing a mountain and I've gotten to a point where now I can it's a little bit of a plateau and I'm pausing. I'm still relatively young, so I'm not planning to retire anytime soon. This is a very long-term plan. This is what I've decided to dedicate the rest of my life to. And I'll know it's successful when we start seeing the graduates from the university going out into communities and having a massive impact and leading countries, leading industries, founding companies. It's not about the grades that they get, it's about the impact that they're going to have on the continent.
Sports gave me a chance to understand that if you want something in life, you have to go for it. There's no shortcuts with sports. What you put in is what you get out.